Shane, I want to ask you a quick question, and that is, what, from your standpoint, what's the goal of this partnership?
Well, I think, the goal of any partnership really should be to identify and provide options for industry-leading solutions for your mutual customers. The automotive industry, especially now, is constantly evolving, and it's got to be our responsibility to ensure we provide comprehensive and effective tools for our dealerships to use. But beyond that, have to have proven best practices and strategies to drive those. Because if you just have the tools, but you don't have a true partner that's going to help you utilize them, then you're just wasting your money.
My introduction into the auto industry came through a very progressive dealer owner. And I'm not afraid to share his name. His name was Bill Doherty. I was at Bill Doherty Kia, and Bill was very wise when it came to a lot of things. And you know what? He had a philosophy, and it became a kind of a mantra chant, but he didn't want to be the pioneer. He wanted to be the best copycat in the automotive industry. And in doing that, his philosophy was, I don't want to just copy. I want to know the why am I copying it. And then to rhyme with the why, he wanted me to back it up, or wanted us to back it up with what's the ROI. So you think in terms of the why and the ROI. Well, in understanding the why, you need to have somebody who is very industry savvy, that gives you correct information. And I'll kind of use the converse of it is, he would sometimes go to a 20 group meeting, and somebody would have done a mailer, and they would have paid, $8,000 or $9,000 for this mailer. And they only sold maybe 10 cars or 10 units. And it was probably to somebody that they were already working, but they wanted to look good in the 20 group. So they told them, and they embellished a little bit, and they said they sold 28 cars. And then the next person said, well, I did a little bit better. I sold 37. And the next one was, I did a little bit better, and I sold 52. And then after you finally reached the max on kind of embellishing the number of units sold, we got into the gross per copy, and it started out at 800 and moved up to slowly probably about 4,200. And in the end, Bill would come back and he'd say, man, I think I found the why. I think I found the why and the what, and it's this direct mail piece. And then he'd send us out to start talking to people, and you found out all the embellishment. And when you came back, you found out those who were supposedly industry savvy people didn't have a clue of what was really going on. And I don't know how many of our audience turned into Tim Talk last week. If you missed it, you missed a very impassioned Sean Stapleton talking about a very industry standard that is coming to play that probably most dealerships are not even aware of. And if they are aware of it, because it's not going to happen until 2022, they're saying that's okay. That's a year and a half or a year and so down the road. But it is going to change the way that internet business is done for a dealership. I don't know of anything more impactful in the next 18 months. And Sean referred to it earlier, called The Walled Garden. And you might be thinking, I've never read that book. Well, you might be in a conundrum, but I'm going to get you out of that conundrum, because I'm going to ask Sean to share his passion and his knowledge. And dealers, I'm telling you, anybody that's on here as an attendee, if there's one thing you don't want to miss, it's the next few minutes when Sean explains The Walled Garden. Sean, I couldn't lead you in any better, brother. So here, take it away.
Thank you. What basically is going on is the cookies are going away. So our ability to track what Eric or what Shane did when they got to the website, so we can remarket to them, so we can make it easier for them, so we can adjust the content. It's all about a personalized personal journey, right? Everybody's purchase journey is a little bit different. And cookies give us the ability today to customize that purchase journey for Rick, for Shane, for Eric, for Melissa. So it's personalized. The tools we get to use are changing. We're not going to have cookie data. So we've got to be able to keep people in walled gardens or environments where we know who you are. You've already been authenticated. So you see it with Facebook, where they're going to try to put the inventory right on their shops. You see it with Google with GMB. GMB is going to become a website if it's not already. They're going to start hanging, your merchandised inventory on it. They're going to hang your service offerings. They're going to hang your hours. They're going to hang your maps on there. Because ultimately, why go to the website if you can get all the content there? So the concept of a walled garden is keeping your consumer inside one vendor or one vendor's ecosystem, so they can authenticate, manage, and then personalize the journey for them. The tools we use today are primarily cookies, which leaves a little nugget behind, so I can identify who you are, what you've been, what you've seen, where you've gone last, etc. allowing me to personalize the shopping experience to your past behaviors. Well, that data is not going to be as available as it is today. So we've got to get creative. We've got to make sure that we give the consumer the opportunity to run their purchase cycle the way they want. We want to be ethically and morally right. We want to use the data to make their shopping experience frictionless and easier on them. And at the end of the day, stop selling your customers, serve your customers. No one likes to be sold. And the walled gardens are going to give us that opportunity to rethink the whole process. Was that good, Rick?
You did great. One of the other things I want to share with our audience here is that it's been said earlier, and we've talked about it in several different ways, but I want to talk about it now in a firm commitment. And I can say this on behalf of each of the three of you. Our dealerships, and when I say ours, I am talking about those that are served currently by Dealer Teamwork and those that are served currently by ProMax. You are more than just a customer. The commitment by these two companies and the personnel behind the leadership of these three men is that we are united in wanting one thing, and that is the success of the dealership. We care very personally about your individual success. You are more than just an income. You are more than just a number. You are an individual that has an individual dealership and an individual staff that we want to help you become more successful and raise your sales, raise your gross per copy, and keep you in the forefront of all the industry standards. And that's really the whole brain trust behind this is you take two entities. One, you need an ILM and a CRM and a desking tool to be profitable and to be efficient in the dealership. But before that can ever happen, you need the marketing end for social media and that somebody that understands SEO and pay-per-click and all those organic searches and understand what the industry is going to, as Sean referred to it as the walled garden. And so when you can blend those without the fear of losing customers or, what we call sheep stealing or anything else that you want to, any fancy name you want to do, and you share not just a common goal, but a common philosophy. And that philosophy is one of transparency and integrity and customer care. And that's what you have with these two companies. No, we're not the biggest. And you all know that, but there's one thing that we are, and we are the best at being relational to our customers and in being open and transparent and available.
Well said, Rick. Great job.
So at this point, we usually tell you that we've got some handouts, and we do. You'll be able to click on the right and you'll be able to download some handouts. We're not doing a survey. Instead, we're doing a challenge. And here is my challenge to you. Again, I'm going to take my days in the Kia dealership, okay? You want to be the best copycat? Well, there's two programs that have been married together where the technology, the information, and the tools, they're not new. They're not new. You get to be the best copycat, but what you get is you get a 30 to 45-day jump on the competition. So I dare you to become a part of this pilot program, okay? If not, be satisfied with the results. You're always running in second place, but you know what second place is? It's the first loser, okay? And in the dealership, everybody, and dealers are, and anybody that's on here that's been in the auto industry for quite some time, you know that with websites, and you know this is how it works. First of all, everybody started to go to several years ago, call for price. And the first one that would do call for price, everybody was like, okay, we're going to do that. So you got like a 10 to 20 day lead, and then all of a sudden everybody copied over to it. And then you were the one that put price up minus rebates. And you got a 10 to 20 day lead on that, and then everybody copied you. And then, all of a sudden we started cutting front end gross, and we started putting down what invoice was, or we were only $100 over invoice, and we started putting that. But everybody copies. It's the best copycat in the industry. But the challenge is to be the one to jump out front, because you know what? The consumer will recognize who's different. Don't be like everybody else. Be different. And here's your chance. Okay? I challenge you right now. Go to Dealer Teamwork's website and jump on and just put in your contact information, say, I want to be part of the pilot. Go to ProMax website and put in your information, say, I want to be part of that pilot. And you know what the best thing is? You're going to get a call back immediately. And I can tell you from this standpoint, if you have any questions and you feel you need to talk to Shane or Eric or Sean, guess what? You'll get a call back. Absolutely. So here's the challenge. You can sit back and you can be passive and you can become the first loser and hope that it's one day you have a fast enough car or whatever to get to the front. Or you know what? You can come out of the pits and you got the pole position. So there's the challenge. You can tell I'm a little bit of a NASCAR fan. I could have related it to Big Ten football because Shane's in Iowa and Eric he's in Rochester, New York. I'm trying to think where that would relate to. And then Sean is up in Minnesota. So, but let's take the forerunner, right? And really accept the challenge. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm excited for the partnership that we have started and the commitment to the longevity. But most importantly, I'm excited because your openness, your transparency, and your integrity are showing through not only in the companies that you lead and the employees that work for you, but it's in your whole business philosophy. And I can't imagine anything better than in a time when you have so many big vendors that want to be the all-inclusive everything that offer no resources other than themselves and it's promotion, that you all are willing to share what you do best with each other and together become stronger.